All right, Rock Addict fans, this is DJ REM, and I have the Beast from England on the line. How you guys doing?
We are A-OK.
I'm loving life, really.
We're magnificent now that Miles is in the room.
We've decided we've got to adopt we're not British at all, which is probably good because I sound like I don't even know what. But we've decided we have to fake English accents to be the Beast of England.
Really, I mean, it's not that we're faking it. It's more of a facade.
It's not quite a lie as much as it is bullshit.
Or bullocks, really. It's bullocks.
It's a right load of bollocks.
I mean, it's pretense, really.
Oh, fancy pants, pretense.
I mean, it's the fine line between clever and stupid, isn't it?
My God.
Okay, so what's going on with you guys right now? Where's the band at? What are you guys doing?
Well, we're sitting in the room. What I decided to do, we're sitting in a room talking to you. What I decided to do was I was going to start kind of like doing some more Beast of England stuff, as you know, because you interviewed us for a while back for my other band, the Hard Ponies, that I've been doing that, and that's still going on. But, I thought it might be time to rev up the Beast of England engines, and rather than talk to anybody in advance, I figured I'd get some of the people that were involved in a room with no idea what the fuck was going on and be like, well, we're getting interviewed, so make something up,
Nice.
So we don't have a plan right now, but I plan to start doing some more stuff. I want to try to get some shows together. Part of the deal with the band is that it's not a commitment for anybody, so like I want to have a rotating cast as needed. So like these guys are always welcome, and they're pretty much first choice. But if they're like, oh man, I can't do this, I'm playing with my other band, or if I'm busy with my job or whatever, nobody will ever sit on that drum stool except me. Although Miles does like to lay a little cloud cover on his to keep anyone else from sitting on it.
Really, I make love to my drum set every day.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
We really want to have a whole career of playing separately. Like, on stage, build cubes where we're not actually looking at each other at all and just go with it. It's like a new kind of expression. It's like the next level shit.
Well, the problem really is, I mean, let's be honest here. When we see each other as a band, really, and it's not like we are looking at each other completely. The only problem is when we know of each other's presence, we cannot control ourselves but to mount and make love to each other. It's a hard thing to do in this band because every member is quite gorgeous, really. We have glorious human beings in this band. My God, right now we are just tempted so badly to just squeal and tickle each other and do things that, well, normally God wouldn't be so happy about. And it's a hard life right now, being with this band. It's been a long time since we played. I'm the drummer, Miles, and it's been a long year. So I'm in a few projects myself right now. I play in the Back Nature Band, and here in San Francisco, a member of the Sierra Leone Refugee All-Stars. And, when I worked with Lance, it was probably one of the greater moments of my life, in the studio, looking at his beautiful body, being caressed by other such musicians. And really, it's something we all miss. This is a fun band, and we haven't played in quite some time, but I do believe the stars are in alignment, and the world is ready for the Beast of England once again. Really.
So
sorry, I got serious. I apologize.
Sorry for being so serious.
It's the only band that we've gotten back together who never existed before we got us back together.
Kathy's joke about playing separate is not so far off the mark, because that is what we've done so far.
Yes, I'm not kidding at all.
we almost got one point where the whole band played in the same room together during the recording, but you weren't playing at that point.
Yes.
You didn't. So
I was in the engineer room. I was doing chemistry homework.
Yes.
And on the one chance we could have actually all been playing together, I did my chemistry homework and then played 2 seconds later. So I screwed it up. I'm sorry.
The one. Well, that might be the universe might have imploded. I can give you a little background on, like, at the time that we did the recording, I had quit my last band a couple years before, and I wasn't doing anything, and I just kind of was collecting songs, and I was like, well, you know, I'm going to record these and do something with them. So I got these guys together, and the absent member, I'll go through
Peter
here. So we got
Peter.
Is that you? So we've got Miles obviously on the drums. We've got Kathleen on guitar and vocals. We've got Tim on the bass. We've got me, Lance, on guitar and vocals. And then Danny, who you've spoken to before, who is also my guitar player from the Hard Ponies, is also on guitar and vocals on the disc. He's the one who's not with us today. He lives in somewhere else.
He's not dead.
He's not dead. I don't mean that he's not with us.
He went on vacation and randomly decided to buy a house in Joshua Tree.
Right. It's a good vacation.
He was like, oh, I want a souvenir from this insightful place. How about a house?
It's a good souvenir.
When you're a rock star, you can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Living the high life.
So we did rehearsals pretty much separately. Like, I think the most rehearsals I had were going over to Miles' place and just bringing a little crappy guitar setup and kind of fumbling through the songs while he added some expert jazz chops to them. And, and then I'd work with Kathleen on the songs at home. I went over to Danny's house and worked on them with him. Tim came over and worked on bass parts here. And some of the stuff, like most of the stuff was already written. The bass parts, we did a little bit of like, some of them had like, this is what I want the bass part to be, and some of them were like, just do whatever you want. And since I don't play drums at all the drum parts are do whatever you want.
I mean, neither do I really. I mean, the drums kind of just play themselves. I mean, when you are so close to being a god, it's really, there's only so much you really need to do. I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, he's not a drummer, but he plays one on Beast of England, really.
So I've got a batch of new stuff, and I wanted to, maybe if we sit here and drink after we do this and everyone's not in a rush, we'll, play a little music. But we don't like to do that too much. So
we feel that the music really gets in the way of the band sometimes.
Yeah.
Gets in the way of the drinking. Jeez.
Sure is a lot of work.
We're really a concept of a concept.
So, hey, did this is there like an actual physical recording of this album somewhere?
Yes, that is the EP is actually available. It's a 5-song EP. It's available on CD Baby and iTunes. You can download it off Bandcamp.
Spotify!
And it's on Spotify, so if you just want to listen to it, type in, it's The Beast of England. Beast is singular. There are some bands, I don't know if they're on there as well, but there are some bands with the plural. Beasts of England.
Can I do that, really?
Yeah, there's plural bands with the pluralized name. But there's only one band with the singular name, so we are The Beast of England. And yeah, if you go on Spotify, you can listen to that. And,
but we're really one beast with many heads
and backs.
Several arms.
But yeah, and the CD's gotten some good. I wanted to thank the folks over at the Soda Shop. They put a review up. They had stumbled across the EP on Bandcamp, and they put a review up of it that was pretty nice. So they got some good action on there. And they're primarily a stoner rock, stoner metal site. So I kind of was confused at first because I was like, well, I really love that, but I didn't think of that, the album as being something they pay attention to in that sense. But I guess the stoner rock part of the equation works, because if you put in a little Tom Petty and a little Black Crowes and a little Skinnerd, and it's definitely works in that category. And I did describe it as being a stoned out trip or something. So maybe they just saw that and put it, but they gave it a pretty nice review. So if anyone pops over to the Soda Shop, they'll probably see that on there.
I'm kind of hoping we can segue into the kind of music that gets played, like, it's summer, girls put on bikinis, they're about to jump in the lake, and then someone comes out with an axe and starts hacking them to bits while they still have a bong and beer in their hands. That's my vision, but I don't know. Am I right?
I mean, do you think for the future, or you think that's what it sounds like now? Because I kind of think that's what it sounds like now.
Yeah. Or maybe we could go towards chainsaw.
move slowly toward change. So, well, I do have some Sabbathy, some doomy Sabbathy things percolating around in the brain, so maybe we can segue into that, for the next bit.
Well, whatever you come up with, I look forward to hearing it.
Well, thank you, sir.
But you haven't heard the first one that have you?
He's heard
Yes, I have. And,
Just joking, just kidding.
and what would be...
So you see how I responded to that Toby
Yeah.
story? I'm like, no, he's heard
I mean,
it.
really, we can't take him anywhere.
No more Toby.
He just gets so rude, you know.
You damn barn pots.
Beast indeed.
Is that something they say in Montana?
Michigan!
Michigan? I mean, really,
Well, he got
are they really that different? Montana,
No, well, actually, I have a friend that lives in the real England, and he calls me a barn pot all the time, so it's something.
Barn pot.
Yeah, look it up. I don't know what it means.
Wait, is that something you piss in when you're out tending the horses?
Barn pot? I'm gonna Wikipedia it
Yeah,
right now.
Google.
Is it barn as in I live in a barn?
It's not barn. It's barm with an M.
Barn.
Oh!
Yeah, what is that? Let's see.
You goddamn barn pot.
I'm kind of stuck on barn pot now, the place where you feed when you're tending to the horses and cows.
Maybe it's the pot that the horses and the cows pee in.
Yeah, we're busy looking this up
Yes.
now.
There'll be a moment of silence.
No, it's fine. So while they're looking this up, if a copy of this EP signed happened to show up in my mailbox, that would be kind of cool.
I think that could happen. And that will happen probably before the Hard Pony shirt ever arrives.
There's
so they have to...
there's no doubt in my mind.
Just for you, you will get the companion Naked Miles poster as well.
Well,
It's very limited edition.
If by limited you mean that
It-
on the interweb.
It causes seizures, so the CDC asked us not to distribute it to too many teenage girls anymore. Because we were getting some bad press about that. It's like those cartoons that flicker too fast and make children flop over on the ground. But it's pretty epic.
Like the Wang Chung video.
Yes.
I thought people were getting seizures from that because of the frame rate. I'm like, I think they're getting seizures from it because it sucks. They're just overcome with how crappy the Wang Chung video is.
Leak spin doesn't suck. Leak spin causes seizures.
Okay, well that's a different story. But the Wang Chung video, I kind of stand by its shittiness.
Oh, you're just a silly person. Not a pot that you piss in when you're in a barn and you're tending horses.
Is that what barn pot is? Barn pot is a silly person. Actually,
That's very nice.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. You have a new one to use with your grand fake accents.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, we're learning.
Now you
Yay.
fucking bomb pot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that.
I mean, really, it's really not easy, let's be honest. All of us are artists right here. We should think about this, really.
Is it artist or is it artiste?
Yes, artiste with the extra E, which is more.
Darling, yes.
Tim,
So-
pass me another of those.
So did you?
I have one at the
So you did listen to our album, right? This is Miles, the drummer dude.
Yes, I have, and I've played it on my show as well.
Excellent. Oh my God, thank you. So how do you feel about it, man? What was when you played it on your show? Like, what was the first thing that went through your head? How would you describe our music?
Well, the reason it has a very classic rock sound kind of to it, and that's what I dug about it.
Excellent. How did you feel about the vocals and everything, and the intense arrangement?
Intense arrangement, he said.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know what else to say other than I really dig it.
You dig it. That's good enough. Definitely.
I mean,
I can die a happy man now. Somebody actually liked it.
well, as Lance knows, I get I think he knows, I get a pile of music sent to me every single day, and I have to weed through the good and the bad, and this made the good list. So.
Oh.
Excellent, dude. Thank you.
Wait. Miles' head has actually grown. It's like Willy Wonka at the Chocolate Factory.
I just wanted the bubble gum so badly.
And for anyone else who's wondering what the secret is, if you're sending something to REM, to try and get it played or whatever, if you shrink wrap a $20 bill inside the CD, then I'm not saying it'll work. It's a leg up.
I am not beyond being bribed.
Send him lots of money with the CD. That's what I usually do with my girlfriends. I mean, it's like, want to hang out? Slip him a 50.
I thought you meant you send them to people with money taped to them.
Lap dances only cost $20. You're getting ripped off.
And this is not a foot.
It's not a foot, no.
Visual jokes for radio. I'm good.
Nice.
Okay, so being that you're a band that's not a band that's never played together, what are your goals for the future?
To play together.
Really,
I was hoping so.
it's been a life goal, really. We've been consistently, moving towards each other's personas and understanding the true psyche that is the Beast of England. So really, when we do get the band back together, we will obviously know the hardships of the actual band itself, which is why Lance, the alpha male, the silverback, as we call him in the porn industry, he will triumph, and we will make a glorious musical contribution to the world. And really, I mean, let's be honest, we all have the skill and the talent already completely. So when we do consider ourselves a band again, we will triumph.
Well, I think there's the trepidation of actually playing together that we burn so brightly that I think there's the fear of becoming a neutron star. Yes.
Always a danger to collapse in upon ourselves. And,
Are we doing that right now?
Well, just make sure you all sign that CD before that happens, okay? Thanks.
Before we collapse into a neutron star, yes.
We will do that today, sir. For you.
And I think part of the plan that I had, since I didn't ever communicate with these guys about anything, was like I might just try and set up a show, maybe give it a couple months lead time to be like, halfway nice, and then just say, I've got a show on this date, who wants to play? I'll call these guys first. They get first. What's the thing? The movie industry term, first right of refusal. So.
Yeah, since we never communicate any plans to each other, I'm going to trump you right now and tell you that I've already asked about playing in the event space at my employment.
Really?
So I was gonna
So you have already done.
Yeah. We don't need to practice because when we come together, rock just happens. So I was just gonna say, meet me at this address, and yeah.
I mean, really, when we come together, sex happens too.
If you haven't made that clear enough.
I wanted to make
Miles,
that clear.
I don't know what you mean about sex.
Sex. I mean, really, it's just a matter of sperm and fluids, bodily fluids, just being in as many places as once. So these guys, I'm just going to throw it out there more about their living room. They have a really nice Dali, Salvador Dali poster on their wall.
It's a print in case anyone's like, I want to come over and rip these guys
Right?
off because they've got a Dali.
It's
Yeah, it was like on the way back from getting coffee, people were having a garage sale, and this thing was there for like $5, and I was like, Dolly, yes, coffee and Dolly.
Is it Hello Dolly?
Hello, Dolly.
They didn't mention that it's next to the oversized portrait of Lance in his. It's an oil painting, I believe, in his high school prom.
No, that's a photo, but my skin was just really bad. Have you guys noticed? Actually, here is one painting that is.
Oh, the album cover. The album cover is on the wall.
On the wall, and it's the back cover. It was intended to be the front cover, and then it didn't fit so well. So I put a picture of my gorgeous mug on it instead.
Yes, which we're much happier about. Many more teenage girls bought the album. It's perfect.
Because they're like, I think that guy's friends with my dad. One of my dad's older friends.
That's the guy that buys beer for us.
Nice. Oh, that's the creepy guy that buys us beer. Let's get his CD.
Nice. Okay, I have a real question for you.
All right.
A real one? Oh.
Yes, real. Okay, if I grabbed your iPod, not your wanker, buddy, or your MP3 player from you, what would I find? And this is a question that you can go around the whole room. what would I find you listening to right now? What kind of music?
Start with Tim.
Oh my god, I love this question! Thank you! Tim first.
Basically,
sorry.
we another few hours for her.
The German techno music I'm liking very much right now. I think the Germans have a sense for disco that the rest of the world just is waiting to be conquered. Thank you. Kathleen?
The beast of where? You're making the wrong accent.
Okay, so I have several iPods, and they're for different purposes. I know, that sounds ridiculous, but some iPods are completely reserved for music that goes above a certain beat level. So Slayer is always there. Always. But always. Other people, like, work out and stuff to Madonna or something. I don't know why anyone ever works out to anything but Slayer, first of all. But right now, totally veering to like Sleep and High on Fire and just like that whole genre. And Shrine Builder has been playing in my car for about 3 weeks straight. So yeah, I'm veering towards stoner rock right now. Thank you. And Lance.
All right. Well, and I think I babbled on a little about this when we talked to you with the other fellers. But I've been listening to a lot of, well, surprisingly, a lot of Black Sabbath, a lot of Ozzy, just crazy stuff, you know. But I've been listening to a lot of like garage bands and things like that, like Detroit ones, like the Dirt Bombs and
the Dirt Bombs,
the Gories and the Spaceshits and stuff like that. So I've been listening to a lot of that stuff.
King Kong and
Barbecue show, stuff like that. But then also, you know, like listening to a lot of classic metal, like stuff that I've always listened to throughout my life, but that, you know, kind of like the Ozzy and Sabbath is like constant. But some of the other stuff, like I go through phases where I listen to a lot of it and then I kind of let it rest for a while, like your Priest and your Maiden and your Motorhead and all that. Like, but they're on fairly heavy rotation at the moment. A lot of my usual easy listening 70s shit, my Barry Manilow and then Melissa Manchester.
He's not kidding.
I know. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we forgot to mention. So when we drive to LA or whatever, the minute we start our road trip officially, we always put Tom Petty on.
Oh yeah, and
it's a ritual. Tom Petty is traveling music.
Yes, but Tom Petty is one of the ones that's very typically on like heavy rotation for me, and he's been kind of dormant. Like I haven't listened to a lot of Tom Petty for maybe like a year or so. So
we haven't gone on a road trip.
I guess that's it. You know,
you're not running down a dream.
Motley Crue and do cocaine or something. I don't know. No.
So I just need to throw it out there. A lot of what they were saying was going completely over my head because I forgot. A couple of the people in here are old enough to be my mother and father.
A couple of, probably so all of
everybody.
Can we adopt you?
She's younger than me.
Yeah.
Tim,
can we actually adopt him?
I'm only 23.
I think we might actually adopt him right now. I think something even more beautiful is happening during this. So thank you again for bringing us together in a new way. We may adopt Miles. So, I
need a home.
Even though apparently I act like a 12-year-old and look like a 15-year-old, I am 39. It is
39.
true.
So you could be a
mom.
Bunch of old haggards over here, my God.
But, you know, all that beauty cream that we slather.
Right. Literally, I have a tub full of avocado. All right.
It's not avocado.
So
I just told you that was avocado.
I'm actually looking at my iPhone, checking out some of the albums I've been listening to. Animals as Leaders. It's like a prog rock band with this like epic guitarist. Born of Osiris, this metal band whose drummer is like on crack. I'm a huge Dave Matthews fan. I know a lot of people don't like him.
We love him anyway.
They're like idiots. They just don't understand. Periphery, another metal band that's phenomenal. Well, actually, I've been listening to Bach's Goldberg Variations on piano. I know that's like, there's actually Bach's Goldberg Variations for piano. Yes, and also Jeff Monroe plays on the harpsichord, another good version. Another good group. I've been listening to a lot of Van Dyke Parks, and he's done a lot of work with this young lady that I'm forgetting the name of, but they have this amazing album, and Van Dyke Parks does all of these orchestral arrangements for this young lady's songs, and they're just completely amazing, phenomenal. But yeah, Van Dyke Parks, he's just a god among men, especially musically.
Much like yourself.
Much like myself. I mean, really, who can play the drums like, me?
No one.
But music-wise, I will listen to anything. So I'm the type of guy where my iTunes library is about 1 terabyte in size. So that means like about almost 100,000 songs, I think. Something terrifying.
Yeah,
But
so if you'd like to steal it, his username is.
Right. Yeah, but it's awesome. I love music. I'll listen to anything.
Going to Cuba music?
Well, see it's funny she mentions that. So my father's from Cuba, and I was raised on all that Buena Vista Social Club stuff. It's like when I was, they put it on before I was going to bed when I was a baby. So, long story short, I'll definitely give a shout out to Cuban music. I love Ibram Ferrer. I love Dos Panchos, Trevi Mataye. She's amazing. But yeah, all Cuban music in general. My father plays Cuban music here in the Bay Area. He's a guitarist and a singer. He's got a cute little band out here and there. They're amazing. Just a shout out to all the musicians out there who are working really hard.
Miles
Honestly.
has forced me to listen to Sting before.
Sting, I love Sting. Oh my god. Fuck, dude, tantra sex, I could have sex with Sting for days. Literally, that's not even a joke. He could probably fuck me for like over 36 hours. I'm really sure he could. And
according to the press, that's the only way anyone ever has sex with
right?
Sting.
It's like he just locks you in his closet with him for like 3 days. There's enough food.
Candles.
There's just a little bit of food and water for breaks.
And candles.
And I don't know about their sexual habits, but I was just thinking now, like lately, so like stuff that's not new, but I've been listening to lately. And I know you have also like Rocky Erickson, Lee Hazelwood, and we just saw Guitar Wolf the other night.
Oh yeah, we saw Guitar Wolf, and it was amazing. I've seen over 1,000 shows. I'm not kidding. I used to do pit security. I used to pick the people up off the ground that have been trampled.
She's the most metal person in this room. I'm gonna say
That's
that.
awesome.
Like in Boston, where like people would just be underfoot, I would pick them up and carry them out to the EMTs. And so I see Guitar Wolf this week after all these shows, and they were so epic. They were like, they forced this drunk guy to play guitar for them, and he kept saying, "I don't know what you're saying to me," because they were yelling at him in Japanese, and they wouldn't let him give up. They kept putting the guitar on him. They even tackled him, and they were like, "You play!" It was amazing. It was like, yeah, they are the Ramones of Japan, by the way. Yeah. Little,
That's fair enough, yeah.
Yeah. Little bone to Guitar Wolf there.
I'm going to. I've never heard of them, so I will check them out.
Oh yeah, and they're in this movie called Wild Zero where they fight zombies. So
Nice.
check that out.
Can't go wrong with zombies.
To do that, we should fight werewolves or something.
You mean in a movie as opposed to just how
Yeah,
fight them
I mean
in
we
real
should
life?
just fight them in real life. We
Just
could,
get more.
yeah, we could just bring a camera while we walk downtown and just videotape it.
Those are crackheads. Those are not werewolves.
No,
I know some of them
they're
look like
zombies.
werewolves. Yeah, right.
They're actually zombies.
Okay, so since you're all in this band that's not really a band, and you're all in other bands, hope that's confusing enough.
Yes.
So if you could just kind of go around the room and tell me something crazy that's happened to you at a show with the band that you are or have been in.
Well, let's see. I used to like to light my hair on fire at the last song of the show, but one night, the scar tissue and everything, it just wouldn't catch on fire. It was really kind of embarrassing, really.
I think Tim is making a fib.
Yeah.
Wow.
He asked me a beer because he's fibbing. Well, I know you used to play with Tom. What was the band you were in with Tom?
Oh, yeah. Actually, an old buddy of mine, I've known him since 3rd grade. We decided to be in a band together before either of us knew how to play any instruments. So back in high school, we started to pull it together. And a band called Inversion, we used to play up and down the whole Bay Area. Had a chance to, the manager of the band X, the old punk band, saw us playing one time and was going to set us on tour from like Canada down to San Diego and as far into Salt Lake City. But then the singer who was going to Cal at the time, was, oh, I don't know about that.
Wants to get an education.
Yeah. So he was out. But last year, still doing a little bit of work with him in a band called Gozzard, where SF Weekly wrote an article, even fucking weird for San Francisco. So it was really San Francisco's premier wizard lizard band, I think.
Oh, I remember the wizard lizard.
Yeah. So he would wear the long wizard beard, and the singer actually got away with wearing a lizard mask for the entire show. So
well, he's the lizard king. He can do anything.
Yeah. So that's been a little bit recent, but.
And you're playing with Tom in that, or that's just what Tom's...
Well, I was doing a little bit of work with them, but now their singers moved on to other things, so...
So it's time to get the band back together, then, is what you're fucking saying.
Well, the good thing is that, with the lizard mask, it could be anyone under there, so...
Well, that's true, too.
Yeah.
It's like Gwar or like Slipknot or whatever. You're just like... I don't know why they told I'm going to pour a little of my sissy-ass Michelob Ultra on the floor of our apartment, and then Kathleen's going to hit me. Because of, now I'm starting to make this joke. I don't even know the guy's name. Who was the guitarist for Gwar that just passed on?
You gotta really put me on spot.
Oh, okay, she doesn't know.
I do know.
There was like this dude, and he used to play guitar for Gwar.
Which means he kicks ass and rolls. But he passed on. That's why we didn't see them last year and just saw them like a couple weeks ago because they rescheduled. But yeah, anyway, enough about that. But R.I.P. big guy, and it's your turn.
It's my okay. So yeah, the only other like musical group I've been in any recent time was a string quartet. So I'm just gonna tell you the wildest. Yeah, seriously.
Uh-oh, here comes a crazy story. I can feel it.
Nice.
I know. I'm going to tell you a story. My favorite story about being at a show ever, because string quartets just don't get that wild as much as I tried. Again, I tried to teach us a Slayer song in quartet style, and so that was kind of awesome. But I actually did get fed to the Scumdog meat grinder at a Gwar show when I was working security. They picked me up from in front of the stage and fed me to the meat grinder. So. That's my favorite all-time show story, because not too many people get fed to that thing. I'm up there with Jerry Springer.
Right.
Sweet.
So, I'm trying to think. Now, the last time that I talked to you, we had an issue because I told a story that didn't have anything to do with being us playing a show, but it was at a club that we played shows at. It was at someone else's show. But anyway, so I was trying to think of stuff that happened at actual shows. And I mean, the best was, Rob actually started to tell this when you were talking to us the other time. And, but I think he thinks this was at one of our shows. I think it was at somebody else's show, where there was a crowd of about 8 people. And I want to say, I think it was this band called the Alley Boys. So actually it was a pretty big band in the area at the time. But that show, for whatever reason, they had less than 10 people, I'm sure. But I was tanked, and I decided to go running up the side stage and take a little stage dive off the front. And, I've seen it happen at big shows where people somehow manage to make an opening and let the guy hit the pavement. I don't know how I thought people were going to just stand there and wait for me when they had like a million places to run. So that 8 people just kind of sidestep, and I do a little face plant on the floor. Or there was the punk rock karaoke thing with my friend JC, where we did a little...
Oh, yeah, we all got injured at that. Have you heard of punk rock karaoke?
I have not.
They're an actual band. They've learned a ton of punk rock songs, but the idea is you go and sign up, and you are the singer with the band.
Right. And
so,
some of them were like veterans. Like there'd be like a bass player from I don't know who they were.
Yeah, they're all from other bands.
Yeah,
but
some of them were kind of big. Like it'd be like somebody from like NoFX or something.
Right. Yeah. So then you go up and sing. So I sang the Misfits, and then Lance gets up with our friend JC, and they are just completely hammered at this point, and they're jumping all over each other. They're kind of singing, just shouting, and then they just take this dive off the stage, and the stage is pretty high up, and they just kind of hit things all the way down to the ground, and Lance's foot is kind of like hanging up on this other piece of the stage, but his body's on the ground. And then they're like, yeah! And they just like throw the microphone, and it lands somewhere near like someone's foot, and then they just wander off to the bar, but then they're both limping. And the next day, they're both like, oh man, what did I do? And I'm like, do you remember like jumping off the stage and being caught by your foot? Lance also doesn't remember this because, well, you're about to find out. He was in a band with Cam. Whoa, segue.
Yeah, and Spence knows that.
Yeah, he was in a band with Cam, and he was also very drunk. And at one point, for a few minutes, he knocked himself out with a microphone.
Nice.
And he usually does this often where he'll flop around on the ground for a second, but this time you could tell it was unintentional for a second.
I don't remember this at all.
Because you knocked yourself out.
I guess so. This was with Radio Star. Before they were Radio Star SF and before they were Rock and Roll Villain Society.
So he's wearing like a fake fur coat, a feather boa, and lipstick, and actually he let a performer do his makeup, and
that was that night. The drag queen that ran the bar.
Yeah, the drag queen.
So I looked like a scary clown.
Yeah. He looked like
you don't know Kathleen is my wife. She's terrified of clowns. So many people are. So she gets to the gig and she's like, what? It was like, I hadn't looked at myself, so I didn't know what I looked like. Apparently, this drag queen had made me up to look like Bozo or something.
So, he swings the microphone around in a circle, hits himself in the face, and then he falls on the ground, and I'm like, oh, he's just doing the on-the-ground thing now. And then I look, and I'm like, oh, wait, he's really on an odd right now. I'm like, so I kind of go up, and I, like, shake him a bit, and I grab him by underneath his arms. And then he wakes up and he's like, and grabs the microphone, and then he's like, all right!
So I was fucked up a lot of the time in that band. I don't know why I'm not in that band anymore. I don't know.
Really, dude? Have you ever heard a more dedicated story?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Suffering, minor brain damage, head trauma right there. My God.
Like Lane Staley.
The music will not stop!
It will resume when I regain consciousness.
All for the love of music. Oh, yeah.
So it's your turn, Miles. Now we need a crazy Miles story.
So, there are a lot of pretty intense stories. I'll just throw one recently. A girl. This is like kind of.
Girls.
This is like kind of like the lame one, but it never really happens to very many people. But it happened to me. This chick threw her bra. This beautiful young lady.
Excuse me,
this
broad threw her bra at me.
So this young, whorish-looking wench.
I don't think I was that whorish-looking.
But she totally threw her bra at me, and it was like awesome. It was super cool because basically I'm in this band right now that's we do reggae and stuff. So it's all these like really beautiful, completely stoned women, dancing to our music. And it was like that was the first time that had ever happened to me. Otherwise, always remember it was one of the first times I ever did cocaine. This is like appropriate. I'll just throw it out there. Yeah, there were times, and so on this gig, I took mushrooms, and I also did a whole bunch of cocaine before I started playing. And I literally got up from my drum set and I ran into a wall. And this is like mid-song, like the song's starting. I freaked out. I was like, oh my God. So I get up and I run it and literally just run directly into a wall. Everything kind of stops. Everybody freaks out. For the next 5 hours, I was basically like this complete, schizophrenic, like, oh my God, like, completely tripping and seeing all these different colors, and the music didn't sound right to me. Like guitars sounded, like screeching. The drums were so loud. Always remember that. It was terrifying. That is one of my more epic moments on stage. That was like so scary. And that was we were opening for this group called Social Sin, and which is kind of a pop group, but they have this like epic crowd. They have a great following, and so all of their fans were there. And I just always remember looking out there, like when I was freaking out, the whole place was like dead silent. Like everybody's just watching me. It was pretty embarrassing. I was like, my God, please, this is your brand on drugs. I'm sorry.
I have a cautionary tale.
And you'll say saying this is in contradistinction to your other shows.
Exactly.
Nice.
I was saving that for the end.
That's a good
That's a big word for an 8-year-old.
Oh my god. But oh yeah, music. I mean, we never actually played together in general, as everyone knows. But let me just throw it out there. When we did the recording, I mean, we were basically at Carnegie Hall. You know, we had the orchestra behind us. We had, you know, Goose Vendu, you know, right there at the conductor's stand. You know, click, click, click. Oh yes, so it begins. 2, 3, 4, and I'll just throw it out there. When we did the recording, it really brought us all a little closer. And I just want to throw it out there, just because we haven't had the opportunity to actually play a live show and together.
So that's really the next plan.
Exactly. The next plan is a live show, but our chemistry as a group, flawless, like outstanding. We all, I mean, not only are we all bisexual, so I mean, really, it was like, you know, fucking win-win situation. So not only do we have that going in our favor, but I mean, really, we're all, you know, really, you know, good musicians. You know, Lance on the guitar and singing and writing all these songs and, you know, taking care of the arrangements. You know, that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And man, you know, only somebody as, I mean, really, we have to stop calling him Lance. Let's call him the Hammer. Really, the Hammer knows no boundary. You know, this guy can, I mean, if you need to fit a golf ball through a garden hose, this is the guy that's going to suck it through. This is going to be the guy that can actually suck it through. He's a monstrous character. Like, we've all tried to suck as hard and as well, but really,
you're saying you can't suck as much as I do.
It's those muscles in the back of the jaw, you know, those are the ones that get like stressed out.
Well, you've seen some lizards who can detach the jaw,
right? Like
that.
honestly,
Like I have extra
that's what Lance
membranes.
does. That's what Lance does.
So,
or the Hammer, I should say.
like a velociraptor.
He's like proof of evolution. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Lance is the next step.
I actually
Really,
do have.
Beast of England, that is what music is to the musical he is. That's basically it.
Yeah, it's a message from the Psylocke Empire to the. I don't know. If I'm trying to remember the bio that I put, I don't know if you ever saw the website. But so the Beast of England invented rock and roll in 1954 AD, and then their song "All You Need Is Drugs" brought peace to the galaxy and blah blah.
It rhymed.
It rhymed a little.
rhymed.
Yeah. So I think I need to update that because there's some references, you know. But what are you talking about?
Well, it did sound like Miles was about to actually start talking about the music, and honestly, I know that Lance and Danny have been playing together for years, but walking in, starting recording, Miles just laid down the backtracks and just going through it. It was working with these other guys. They were just so on it. Actually, for the first time in my life, I'm never nervous playing in front of people, never nervous in the studio, but at that moment it was like, I hope my chops are good today. It's like, because we're recording right now, and so these guys just made that a really easy process. I was really amazed to hear the final mix, and then shout out to Matt, the producer,
Matt
engineer.
Stewart.
Man,
Hit Wall Studios, yeah, Matt. He was hot. He was fucking cute. Yeah. He had this like phenomenal red hair.
He does
just
look a
wanted to.
little like Beck.
He does.
Really,
but
dude,
less
really.
geeky.
But
Yeah.
he does have an amazing mane of hair.
Seriously,
and
if you see him from
very
behind,
talented.
he has like a very effeminate body. Like when I saw him from behind, I thought he was a chick, and I was like, who's this total babe that's about to record us? Like, and then he turns around, and I'm like, oh, good sir, good sir.
Well,
Matt,
So apparently this babe that's going to record us is named Matt.
have mercy.
Hello, Matt.
well, good thing he was wearing that fake mustache that day, or you might never have figured it out. Like,
Right? It is true.
no, I'll segue in with Tim here and try to like get the tone serious for a second and be like,
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
Miles
I know.
is in the room.
I know, Miles. Well, okay, I'm going to tangent before I get serious and say, Rem, you probably know from when we did the Hard Ponies interview that if any of those guys listen to this, they're going to be pretty astounded, I think, because there's a general tendency that if I'm in the room, I do all the talking. They're going to listen to this and they're going to be like, well, that's not true anymore. You know, they're going to hear Miles and then realize that they need a new frontman. Probably. Having Miles will be singing for the Hard Ponies too, and I'll be like, "Can you please come play drums on my thing?" He's like, "Sorry, too busy fronting your old band."
Nice.
Oh my God.
But to segue into what Tim was saying, like when I got it together, literally, it was a couple years after I played with Jay and Cam. I didn't really plan to retire from music, but I was burnt, and I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. My dad had passed, and I was just, not in the headspace to be doing like 3 nights a week practice, going out and promoting, and doing all the stuff you do when you're in a regular band. But of course, over those couple of years, I missed it, and I kept playing and putting down ideas, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do with these? So I got everybody together, and Danny was one of the first people I called because I played with him in Flash Bastard, which became the Ponies, and he'd been my friend since school. Danny was kind of like a musical touchstone for me. Like, he was always someone that, like, if I needed to get an idea or, like, feedback about an idea, he was someone I'd call. So he was, like, one of the first people I called and said, hey, I'm trying to put this thing together, but I don't know if I have what it takes to hold it together on my own, And we never did get schedules for everybody to get in and jam. So like I said, I'd go piecemeal, go over to Miles' place for a while, go over to Tim's place for a while, or Tim came here, I think. And just everybody, we'd practice like one at a time. And I really didn't know what to expect when we went in there, because I was like, well, I think we're prepared, but it could really fall apart. And I think it's something about the strength of the players. And a special shout out to Miles on this score, because Miles is the youngest of us, as we've discussed, as by a margin. And he was actually 19 when the recordings were done.
But he's a drum god.
And I think it's probably between him and Danny as to who has the most experience, who's played with the most bands, played on the most stages, played in the most places. And in terms, I'd probably give Danny the nod in terms of experience. But I'd give Miles the nod in terms of probably technical ability, just because he's a more studied and proper musician than the rest of us, I think. I don't know. I mean, the rest of us have always kind of... I haven't known Tim... I mean, I've known Tim a long time, but I didn't know Tim when he was more actively playing in bands and stuff, so I can't say this about him with authority. But I think the rest of us have always just kind of flown by the seat of our pants. I mean, Kathleen has some, she has done some proper... she was in choir, and she did the string quartet and stuff, so she has a little more background in that sense. But Danny and I, for sure, we just played in garage bands and stuff. And I mean, bands that had a decent amount of, we'd get a good following, we'd have some success. But as far as the chops and everything, we were winging it the whole time. And I know Miles.
Let me just throw this out there. Let me interrupt Lance real quick.
Yeah, he's all. This is why you don't get to talk to me, because you say boring shit.
Just because he hasn't said anything good about Tim yet. So, let me just throw this out there. Tim, how you can tell a really good musician and somebody who has had extreme amounts of experience, whether they liked it or not, which is every musician, right?
Yeah.
Tim was able to keep a particular demeanor and, almost professional. Almost professional.
By contrast.
And really, it kind of rubbed off on all of us. And we were also having a good time. And so that was the thing. You could tell that all of us were, experienced, and we all wanted to be there. It's not like we were being forced. We were having a good time. And really,
That's definitely... Right. You keep saying you weren't forced.
Exactly. And it
Never
definitely...
tell anyone where I touched you.
It definitely showed. And, yeah, I think all of us, Tim included... very, we all had a great time. I believe we were all experienced. Everybody, everybody was there for the same reason, and that made everything outrageously more easy.
Yeah, but gosh, my ass is still kind of sore.
I know, right? My God,
that's only the punch.
My rectum quivers in anticipation. My God,
I keep breaking up like Peter Brady. I have a cold or something, because I keep getting a little time to change. It's listen to that sexy voice. He's a beast of England for sure.
Can we make love right now?
Again? I thought we played a new game.
Oh my God, what's
But,
that? Hot Red Pumps?
What are you looking at?
Oh, Hot Rod Pinup.
Hot Rod Pinup.
Miles
Get your
is
mind
being
out of the
distracted by the room again.
Sorry, so the marijuana literally just settled in, so now my ADD is like off the charts. Like above the door to their bathroom, they have a picture of a clownfish.
Kathleen painted that.
Painting of clownfish. It's
Most of
very
the
cute.
paintings in here are hers. The one that was the album cover was me.
As we mentioned, we are all artistes.
We're all artistes.
Exactly. I usually only paint with my testicles and my feces, but
on your testicles with your feces.
with my feces, it's really, truly, I take art to the
All right,
level.
we forgot that we were going to do. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Anchorman.
Yes.
I know you have. Narem, I'm sorry. Did you just say you did see it?
Yes.
Did you ever watch it with the commentary on?
No.
I would recommend watching it if you have the DVD. Watch it again with the commentary. It's like a second movie that's as funny as the first. And we know that movie is hilarious. And a lot of it is their going over what they can say because it's an unedited, unrated version of the DVD. So the commentary, they're like, can we say whatever the fuck we want? And I'm assuming they're pretending because I don't think they actually have anyone in the room with them, but they're like pretending they have people from the movie company or something in there with them, and they're like, can we say cock salad? Okay, it's cool. It's cool if we say cock salad. And they're like, can we say a large plate of leafy greens with a bunch of uncircumcised cocks cut off and to split? No, now they're giving us the thumbs down. They say we can say it, but we can't describe it. So, in the spirit of that, because it's internet radio, and we can say fuck, we can say shit, we can say piss, we can say fucking giant cock covered with clam juice. I'm gonna say that. Fucking cock covered with clam juice.
Really, we've come to we have a breakthrough. My God, the band is now back together.
Well, and I'm glad, and I hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to end this now because
you have to vomit.
I would like to keep my sanity. No, you have to go talk to Cam. Tell Cam hello.
Yes, say hello to Cam. Hello, Cam.
I will. But first of all, I want to thank you guys, even though you're a band that's not really a band. I want to thank you guys for all getting together to talk. I truly appreciate, and on a total serious note, I think you guys are very good, and I hope that you do get back together and do some live shows, and I also hope that you make another album. And I hope Lance remembers to send me the one with the signatures on it.
I will. I'll have these guys sign today while we're here.
We will do it today.
Before we die.
Very cool.
And as for the recording, yes, one way or another, that is going to happen. Shows and recording. Hopefully, the people in this room will be involved. Hopefully, Danny will be able to. But there will be some more stuff. I definitely have songs in the pipeline for it, and I kind of want to. You're laughing because I said pipeline.
You said pipeline because I was just thinking we're kind of like a human centipede band.
We are. I call frontsies. That's the rule. I always call frontsies on a human centipede.
Miles is the end.
I can handle it.
I'm guessing. Let me see if I can read the mind of Rem. Hold on. Should we do a call tag?
Yes, we should. We should do 2, actually.
One for you and one for the station?
Yes, please. That would be great.
Okay. All right. So why don't we do a thing where, we do, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so, and then we are... that kind of thing. And then,
Hello, I'm Tim Sunderman.
I'm Kathleen Ontario.
I'm Miles Escobedo.
I'm Lance Eason. We're the Beast of England, and you're listening to Rock Addict Radio, motherfuckers!
Perfect. Now, same thing, but for DJ Rem.
Just say you're DJ Rem on... Yeah, okay. All right. Again.
Hello, I'm Tim Sunderman.
I'm Kathleen Ontario.
I am Miles Escobedo.
I'm Lance Eason. We're the Beast of England. You're listening to DJ Rem on Rock Addict Radio. Wake up, motherfucker!
I cannot wait to play that. I will play that tonight. That's
You know what? I've been listening to Buffy and Vixen's show a lot in the mornings because I tend to get up early on weekends now for some stupid reason. So if you don't mind, I could make one for them now.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot.
Pass it on. So look, if you guys want to do your bit again, and then I'll.
Oh, Miles first this time.
Yeah, let's switch it up.
Good day. My name is Miles Escobedo.
I am Kathleen Ontario.
I am Herr Tim Sunderman.
I am the one they call Lance Eason, the Hammer. And you are listening to the Beast of England. I hope, because I think they're going to play it next. For Buffy and Vixen on the Brutiful Show. Have a beautiful morning.
Buffy?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Good job. Very good.
Ram, thank you for time to change. Time to change. Thank you for having us on, man. I really appreciate it. And
I hope the weather gets better in Kentucky.
Not in Kentucky.
All right, Red. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Horns up. Tell Cam hello for us.
Yeah, I sure will.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.